And then also subscribe to our other YouTube channel, FreshandFit Shorts. Okay. And then, guys, DMs on Demand is live. It's getdmsondemand.com. Getdmsondemand.com. You guys have been waiting for it. It's finally back out, man. So if you guys are tired of getting left on scene by girls, get on there because we have, 15 plus modules. We have like 10, 15 plus Zoom calls, a bunch of different content on there, guys, that teaches you how to use it, leverage Instagram, whether it's for business, girls, whatever it may be. Just get your profile on point. And then, Fresh, you want to talk about your vlog channel?
Guys, for behind the scenes, man, check out the vlog channel, 100K in the way. We did a giveaway. Well, not giveaway. We did like a special video yesterday regarding a random guy on the street. We met him for the first time, put him in the Lambo, took him for a ride. That was one of his dreams from a child. So, like, shout out to him. And we did a fire interview with Steve Will Do It as well. So, awesome vlog.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. And then also, guys, check out my other YouTube channel. It's Fed at 1811 on that channel. I break down criminal cases. We recently did the Derek Chauvin appeal. Basically, long story short, the state of Minnesota did a shitty job prosecuting him, man. And there's really some serious mistakes that they made during that prosecution where he might be able to get that charge vacated. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, me and Andrew from Legal Mindset broke it down, and we went over all the mistakes the prosecution made during the Derek Chauvin trial. So yeah, like I said, he's guilty, guys, but the prosecution, they went a little too. They fucked up, basically. But go check out that episode if you guys want to see, if you guys are more interested in that legal stuff. But anyway, without further ado, man, we got our guy, Brandon from Investment, join the house. And we actually met you through our boy, Danya. He hooked us up. And
Eric Davis, too.
Yeah, shout out to them. They're actually in studio here as well. Shout out to you guys. So we know who you are, bro, but can you introduce yourself to the people that may not be familiar with you or your channel?
Sure. My name is Brandon Schlichter. I'm from Central Ohio. I've got 1.3 million subs on YouTube. I just hit 2.9 million on TikTok. If you've seen a video where you see a guy collecting money from a laundromat or car wash or vending machines, it's probably me. I've got almost 1 billion views, pretty much just going and making money some way. Like my bio real quick is I grew up really, really poor. I've been evicted twice. I was evicted when I was 6 years old. I was evicted again when I was 18. My dad had a heart attack right before we got evicted, which kind of plays into that. So I've been essentially working my whole entire life, got real estate at 21, got into real estate investment at about 8 years into that. Ended up starting buying rentals. I'm sitting at 130 plus doors right now. I also own a storage locker facility, own a couple car washes. I also own a couple laundromats, and pretty much I've had the social media profile of just showing people what it's like to be me, going from that kind of really poor background to social media fame or whatever you want to call it. Just crazy. And here I am in Miami overlooking this absolutely gorgeous landscape. And it's like I've done this in 3 years. It just absolutely blows my mind.
You did all this in how old are you now?
I'm 36.
You're 36. Okay, yeah. Okay. So you started
social media in 3 years.
3 years ago. But you've been investing now for what, since 18?
And I started in 2013 actively investing in real estate. I've been in real estate since I was 21 because I was working essentially a dead-end job at a warehouse. It was the Gap warehouse out in Groveport, Ohio, just packing boxes for $11 an hour. I always wanted to get married, and I was always the kind of person that wants to be a single income household. Okay. So it's like, I don't want my wife to have to work. I wanted to raise a kid at home, or kids at home. I need to get a better job. So I thought to myself, hey, everybody in town has a nice car, Cadillac. They've got a nice suit and tie on that's in real estate, sales. So that's what I'm going to get into. Got my real estate license at 21. I figured out really quickly that that's not where the money is. The agents are in debt and those cars are worthless. But the guys that are really making money are real estate investors. I met a guy who was a truck driver and he came in, wanted to buy a house to flip. I was like, man, you need to go get pre-qualified for a mortgage. And he's like, boy, listen to me. I want to show you this. And he's like, he threw a checkbook at me. He's like, open it up. And I open up, he's got like $450,000 cash in one bank account. I'm like, how the heck did you do this? You're a truck driver like my dad. How did you get, almost $500,000 liquid? And he's like, I invest, I buy real estate, I flip houses. This is what I do. I'm like, here's this guy that's a truck driver for GM. And my dad did deliveries for GM all the time. And he's got $500,000 in the bank. My dad has a heart attack, can't even get on disability. It took my dad like 8 years after his heart attack to get on disability. And I'm like, man, this is what I have to do. Right. And at that point, I'm like, I've got to get an investment full time. It took me a few years to figure out how to actually start buying properties. And then once I did, that was around 2013. It's just been house after house after house.
It's funny, man, because like most people are like, yeah, I want to get the real estate, I'll get my license, but it's like, that doesn't mean anything. When you invest, though, that's when the money starts coming in. You're right.
Yeah. So what was your first property that you bought?
For myself, I had my brother buy a dumpy little 3-bed, 1-bath. He's probably watching because he's like, you are his favorite podcast.
Oh, shout out to your brother,
Yeah.
man.
I asked him like what podcast he watches because we're trying to research on what to do for mine. He's like, I only watch Fresh and Fit.
Hey, that's fire, man. Shout out to you.
Ben.
What's his name?
His name's Ben.
Ben?
Shout out to Ben,
Shout out
man.
to Ben, bro.
Yeah, doing the damn thing.
Hey, man.
All right.
Yeah, he loves your channel.
So you and him went together on a 3-2.
Yeah, on a 3-bed, 1-bath.
Okay, 3-bed, 1-bath.
He bought that at the technical peak of real estate in the entirety of Ohio, April 2007. So
damn,
right before the market crash.
Absolute technical peak. I've got access to all our data in Ohio back to 96 as far as I go. That was the absolute peak. He's made money on it every single day since then.
Really?
Wow.
Even during the crash?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Cash
because
flow.
everybody, like, we started getting like mortgage bankers. They were living in nice houses. They lost their houses due to foreclosure, and they had to find something to rent. So our 3-bed, 1-bath, $700 a month rental was great. They were paying $1,200 on a house they owned. They can't have it anymore, so they moved into our places. And that place, I think, since 2017 has been vacant for maybe 2 weeks in 15 years.
Wow.
So it's been a great moneymaker.
It's because me and Fresh are in real estate as well.
Mm-hmm.
The 3-bedroom home, bro, is literally like that's a lot of people talk shit. Oh, it's one door, single family homes is stupid, blah, 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 go big or go home. I know Grant Cardone advocates for more doors, which I agree with as well. But, you can't anytime the single family home is recession proof, bro. It's like literally you're always going to find someone that will take that. A 3-2 is like the magic. That's like the starter. And if you get it at the median average price, like you can't go wrong. Cause it's like, even if the prices go down, you're always going to be able to find someone that will rent it. So it's like, so that was your first property. You went in with your brother. Did y'all buy it cash? How'd you guys do it? Leverage?
We got a all-day subprime finance, liar loan. I pretty much contacted a mortgage company, and they made up my income. They just sent me a document, said, "Don't look at it, sign it." And I looked at it. It was like, I don't make $55,000 a year. I'm like, I'm a real estate agent. I made like 30 grand in commissions last year, and they screwed the paperwork over. I'm like, whatever.
This is before the housing crash where they didn't give a shit. I remember they were just giving, hey, you want a loan? You want a loan?
You want a house? You want a house?
They were just saying, everyone gets a loan.
Yeah.
That's how my parents got. My parents didn't own a house up until 2005, and they did the same thing with my parents. My dad wasn't even on disability at that point. I was working a warehouse, giving my parents $500 a month, and it's like, you can't document that income. And so I was helping my mom and dad out, and they said, "Oh, we bought a house." We can't afford a house, so they got a mortgage for it, 5-1 adjustable rate mortgage back in 2005. Damn. And they got their first house doing there, so they've never defaulted. I've never defaulted on that loan with the 3-1.
Does it still have the arm or?
My parents' house, it still has the 5-1 arm. Yeah,
that's scary, bro.
It adjusted down. They held it long enough that it adjusted down, went down to like 1.5%.
Wow,
so it's pretty good.
What
deal.
did they buy? Did they get the 10-year arm or 5?
I think it was either 5-1 or 7-1. It wasn't. I know for a fact it was a 3-1.
And for the audience out there, guys, an ARM is an adjustable rate mortgage. Long story short, what it is you can get it at a certain rate. It locks in at, whether it's 1 year, 5 year, or 7 years. And then after that, then it goes right into the market interest rate.
Yeah. So
it's
for
a way you can save money up front. But
let's say you get the property at like 3%, right? It locks in for those amount of years. But after that, 5 years or 10 years, you can go to depending
10%, whatever the market is.
Who knows? So your price can go up instantly like that.
Yeah, guys. So that's when but it's a fantastic option if you're going to only hold the home for a little bit of time
and then sell it, or
you could do a refinance.
Yeah.
But the refinance is going to cost you some money to do, but you can also refinance it back into a fixed rate if it goes if it's too high. So it's a great tactic to use, especially if like right now with the interest rates going high. I know a lot of you guys want to be able to buy a home.
Yeah.
And the interest rates might be a little high. You can go ahead and get an ARM.
Timing is important though, because you got to get in and get out.
Yeah. So okay, sorry about that. So you had the ARM with the fam, and so your parents had the ARM, you got it now. So it actually went down. So this is a good, it's a good scenario.
Yeah, because they bought it in 2005 and the crash happened in 2008, technically.
Yep.
So if you had an adjustable rate mortgage, your payment between like 2004 and 2008 was going to just explode. That's why so many people got hit during the foreclosure crisis.
Yeah.
You're paying a payment for $800 a month. In my parents' case, theirs adjusted down to like $600. There's a lot of people that they're paying $800 a month or $1,000 a month. It went up to $1,500-$1,600 when their interest rate doubled, when the adjustable rate period ended. And then every year, as the rates were going up over the course of, as the bubble kept building, and the Fed was raising rates, it just caught a lot of people off guard.
Yeah,
and
they
just
might not
absolutely
have the
slaughtered
money to do a refinance. So
most Americans are one paycheck away from foreclosure.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got your first. It was a 3-1. You and your brother went in on it, and y'all bought. You guys used a loan to do it. You guys both. Was it a rental property? Did you guys live in it?
No, it was a rental property.
Straight rent. Okay.
Just like $300 a month.
How much y'all buy it for?
$43,500.
$43,000.
$43,500.
Oh, man,
my brother put $3,500 down on
Yo,
it.
it's also a location, man. Because
man,
these
the Midwest, you can get a lot of good property for a good price, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm curious. Out of all your businesses or all your assets right now, would you say real estate is one of the most defining ones in your opinion?
It's just so easy because you have the strategy, like you said, you like single family detached, and I love single family. I
actually
detached.
like multi, but I have a couple single family homes, but I like duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, but I don't knock people that have single family homes. That's like, it's a safe bet. I think it's a fantastic way to invest.
Yeah, and I run into all these big time real estate investors, and they
make
like,
fun of
why would you buy any single family detached? I'm like, because the appreciation is 3 times higher than my apartments. My apartments make good cash flow. My houses get equity. So if depending on the market, I win either way. So why not just buy some of both? And I run into people that, I get calls all the time, DMs and whatnot. People are asking about storage locker facilities because those are real hot.
I'm definitely going to ask you about those.
Yeah.
too.
So storage locker facilities, I'm like, I know guys that they just print money with them. I own 38 units and our management's maybe $5 or $10 5 or 10 minutes a month in management for them. Wow. You think about how much money storage locker could close at such a little time investment. Those make money too. I run into guys with strip malls or medium to light duty commercial. They print money. I know a guy in California, he flips industrial parks. He goes in and buys industrial warehouse space, and he goes and he renovates it and he turns it into a single unit industrial space, and he turns them into 4, 5, 6 units, like the flex warehouse space. He did one deal a few years ago. He bought it for $500K, put $500K in it. He cashed out, refinanced it for $3 million, and then cleared $10,000 a month on it, going onward.
Wow.
And it's just
damn.
He's like one of the he's now one of the largest housing builders in California.
Wow.
And he was doing industrial park flips.
Everything sounds good there except for California.
Yeah, exactly.
So going back to because I definitely want to ask about the storage units as well, because that's another thing. I was watching the whole thing on that. So you did it. So you started with the 3-1, and then did you expand into multi-family homes from there, or did you go right into commercial?
That's about where we had a split. My brother started. He ended up going out and he bought a 6-unit apartment complex.
Okay.
And then he and his wife, he got married. Him and his wife dealt with that. I kept doing the real estate thing. I started getting in to building websites. I was building a bunch of websites that were making money off the internet and stuff. That's when I started to really get my first taste of social media, internet advertising, things of that nature.
This is 08 now, or
that was probably 09.
09 now.
So then we're in the foreclosure crisis. My real estate business collapses in terms of sales. Nothing's moving. In Central Ohio, we went from selling houses. The average house was on the market for like 60 to 90 days. It went up to a year. In some cases, it was a nightmare. The prices didn't go down. It took a year to sell a house. So that was collapsing. I had my first 2 kids, and just the business was falling apart. And I had the opportunity to sell my website. So I made $50K and really quick in 2012, 2013. I was like, man,
you sold the website?
Yeah, I sold the websites. Okay. Yeah, I was like 20 or 30 websites I had, and they were all making maybe $40,000 a year. And I had a guy that wanted to buy them for 50. I was like, worst case scenario, I'll remake the websites. I can build cash flowing websites if I have to. But with that 50K, I am going to take that money. I'm going to go out and find investors. I'm going to finally get into real estate investing because I know I can make money. Because
at this point, you only had that 3-1 with your brother at this point. Okay. All right.
So I know I can make money, and I helped a lot of investors buy property. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to take half. I've got $50K to live on for a year or two. I'm going to take $25K and I'm going to go out and see if I can get any investors.
Okay.
And within 1 year, I had over $420,000 in investment funds just from going out and asking people. And they just loved my business idea of just going out and buying a mix of single family homes and apartment complexes. Just let's get a mix of
these are former clients that you work with, so they trusted you. They knew you.
Yeah, some of them were.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
And it was just so easy. I never thought that anybody would want to invest money in some hillbilly guy from Southern Ohio that's never gone to college. And I found out really quick, if you've got work ethic and you're willing to actually put a lot of effort in, the guys that have deep pockets and they have money, they will just throw cash at you because they see that you're a hard worker, that you're willing to pitch them, you're willing to negotiate, you're willing to get deals for them.
Yeah.
And going back to my story, I got evicted at 6 years old. My landlord that kicked my family out at 6 years old is one of my investors now.
That's funny, man.
Wow.
Full
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
he says that all the time. He's like, I cannot believe that you are my best investment right now. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And he has got some serious property. He's like, no, he's like, the rates you quote me, because I offer him a good return on his investments. Like, he's like, you're the best thing I have going right now. And I'm like, I part of me just wants to keep him on board just so I can tell that story to people.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So,
Wow.
okay. So you start getting, so you get this 400,000. And then what'd you do with that? Did you just start buying houses
we
like
bought
crazy
a
all over the
crap
place?
load of houses.
Ohio?
I think we bought 20 total doors, probably 10 houses, 5 duplexes or so.
Okay.
It ended up being about 20 units. And then I got covered on biggerpockets.com, which is a big real estate.
Yep.
Shout-
Very
shout Bigger
familiar.
Pockets.
Shout out to Bigger Pockets. Very
Yeah, I
familiar
love
with them.
Bigger Pockets.
Yeah.
So they did a story on me, and it's just my inbox on Bigger Pockets just blew up. And I had a guy from Texas. He got a hold of me. He's like, I want to invest with you. He's like, I want to be one of your last investors.
Mm.
And I was like, I says, okay, what do we? I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I said, hey, tell you what, because my inbox was just blowing up.
Yeah.
And I said, tell you what, here's my routing number and account number. You send me $50,000 this week, and I'll talk to you.
Mhm.
And it's just like Friday, bing, wire 50 grand.
Yeah.
And he's
He's serious.
He's DMs me
Putting
again.
money
He's like,
where his mouth is.
let's buy some houses.
Mm.
And I'm like, holy.
Did he
freaking
specifically want to get into the Ohio market, or where
Yeah.
is he talking?
crap.
Oh,
No,
Ohio,
he just
okay.
wanted Ohio because he was
Okay.
in Texas,
Okay.
and he couldn't get good rates. And I was talking about at that specific point in time, I think I was doing 16 to 18% across the board on the properties I was buying.
You were getting a cash on cash of 16%.
Oh yeah.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
For
That's
guys out
unheard of
there,
now,
real
bro.
quick, cash on cash, guys, is basically you divide how much money you put into the deal versus like how much you're getting back monthly. So, I mean, I'm trying to think here. What's the easy way to do this? So, like, let's say you put $100,000 into the deal, right? And you're making back what, $1,000 a month?
Yeah.
That's a 12% cash on cash, right? Times 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah,
close to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
60% cash on 100K would be that's
Yeah,
about right.
yeah, 12,000. Yeah, so you'd get 12% cash on cash, which is fantastic. Because remember, guys, you're going off of the money that you put in. The bank is giving you the other, 75 or 80% of the loan. So it's a great way to measure, like, if you want to just get like return on investment as far as like your rental income. So you're getting 16, 18%. That's crazy, bro.
all day long.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was going in the crappy
I
neighborhoods.
might need to talk to you about this after,
Yeah.
man, because
There you go.
because I've been thinking about expanding into the Midwest because I have property in Connecticut and Florida. I just closed on a house yesterday, a duplex. But dude, it's expensive here in Florida.
Yeah, and Ohio's getting to that point, but I bought every crappy house I could find because I've dealt with every class of person,
Mhm.
and I hate dealing with the ultra rich elites, and we even have them in Ohio. I know it's shocking, and they were like, "Brandon, you're buying the crappiest neighborhoods," and my statement to them was, "Those neighborhoods will never get worse." I'm like, your really nice neighborhoods can become
I
a
like
war
that.
zone in 2 months. I'm like, all it takes is 2 or 3 drive-bys, and your house values are half.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you're an idiot and whatever. And like, here I am 130 places later. I'm selling these houses I bought for $10,000, $20,000 for $100,000 a piece.
Damn.
As I'm here in Florida, I signed 4 listing agreements. And I think every house I'm selling right now, I paid less than $25,000 for.
Damn.
And they're all being listed like right at $100,000 or more.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. And I've done this with very minimal money out of pocket. But
Are you rehabbing these joints too when you buy them, or
most of them.
you're buying them, you're rehabbing them, everything? Okay.
So
do you have another team that
you have
does
a
that?
full team
Yes.
that
Yeah.
does that for you?
Well,
Okay.
I self-managed everything other than the renovations up until probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I just was going crazy with 140. At that time, I was at 140. I've sold some of my portfolio off. And I was getting crazy because everybody in Southern Ohio had my phone number. I was getting 100 calls in days, people asking for houses. Because in the meantime, I run my YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I also bought a newspaper company that has physical and print media in Southern Ohio, and then I've also got one of the largest real estate websites, and we're throwing my rentals on there, like to get tenants.
Are you still keeping that newspaper company?
Oh yeah,
Really? Okay. I would think like maybe with print not being
it's dead.
It's
print's
dead.
dead, but our there are very often times that I beat out the CBS, NBC, and ABC affiliates in Central Ohio on our social media.
Really?
Yeah, well, we have weeks that we have 10 million, 20 million.
Is that
views.
through newspaper sales or
No, just we'll take videos. Because what we did was we took the print media and we did those kinds of stories and we put them on Facebook and other social media and a website, because we're like, print's dying very quickly.
Yeah.
But let's have that kind of local content online, and people really engaged with it.
Okay. So they're not putting out newspapers as much. They're just more.
Yeah, not nearly as much as when we started, but we're trying to get back into print media as soon as we can find a printer that's going to print us newspapers at a correct cost.
There you go. Okay.
No one wants to buy a newspaper.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'll read these chats real quick, and then I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation, man. This is basically the Money Monday we should have had yesterday, guys, but we had a lot of stuff going on yesterday. It was very busy, and we got a video that we might drop this week. Fresh. I don't know if you want to make that announcement on that one yet.
Yeah, so we did a one-on-one interview with Stephen Tafia.
Yeah.
So that'll be out soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we got $5 here from Albo Ace. You guys hard work every day giving us all this great content doesn't go unappreciated. Salute to all you fellas. Thank you, man.
Thanks, bro.
We're waiting for investment. Joy F&F collab. Thank you, Kentucky Fried Fun.
Fried Fun.
Emma, do you guys think I should use the reserve to pay for my tuition, or is there wiser to make money without signing a 6-year contract? 18, by the way. I need more facts. Not really too sure. And then I have about 30K in savings. What do you think I should invest in for the long run? That's $5 from Oscar Ortiz. Okay, we'll talk about that. And then Sean Muhammad, Myron, can you please have the big homie Marquette back on? I believe he reached out to you and hasn't heard back. I haven't got anything from him, bro. Xbox Gunner Gaming. Shout out to the assassins. For real, what are good apps to use for real estate? What apps? I use Redfin to look for my homes. But if you want to,
what do you use?
Yeah, what do you use?
I like for easy use Zillow. But then I really get into like local, most counties in the United States, they have data services. Like in the state of Ohio, I go to the Otter's website and you can get the home address for everybody that owns property on the street.
Wow.
Yeah. Most areas have that.
Xbox Gunner Gaming, for real estate, what are good apps? Oh, read that one. Yeah. Okay. What do you think about the housing market in Philadelphia? $10. That's from LP Berserker. I am not aware of it. Are you familiar with the Philly?
I like it. I like pretty much all of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Pennsylvania's good. All right. About what about buying homes around military bases, both as an investment property or flips? Yeah, I mean that's not a bad move. Okay, so you said like 120 doors that you have for just
130,
130
in the storage locker if you want to throw those in.
Okay, so are those all residential? Those doors?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we got single family detached duplexes. I think my largest is a 6 or 7 unit apartment complex.
Okay. Now between because those are commercial, do you like the multi families that are commercial, or do you prefer the residential under 4?
Well, the only complicated part is in the state of Ohio, if you want to do electrical repair on a commercial facility, you have to have a licensed electrician.
Oh.
And there's technically only 400 of those in the state of Ohio.
Okay.
And so it's a nightmare to get. We had a garbage truck pull the whole electric service off of an apartment complex.
Oh.
It took me a month to get that fixed. It was an absolute nightmare.
Wow.
I found some farmer in town that ended up having a license that he really didn't use. And he went and fixed it.
What's the median average for like a 3.2 in Ohio? Right
for my part of Ohio, they're now up to probably 225.
That's pretty good.
In Columbus, they're up to like 375. Our market's just exploded. We got a $100 billion Intel chip plant that they're in the process of building.
Oh, yeah. And for some of you guys that don't understand why that's a big deal, make no mistake about it, guys. China is going to invade Taiwan at some point, and they're the ones that manufacture chips.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a big problem. So that's huge that they're going to make a chip plant there.
The car market too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So okay, so because I think the median average 3.2 in the United States in general right now is right around 300,000. So that's actually below the national average of 225, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you have the 3.2s, and then what about like duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes? Are those in abundance too, or is it mostly single family?
Single families in a huge abundance, and everybody skips over duplexes and triplexes. Quadplexes are a little more popular, and then once you get up to the 5 units plus, then a lot of
it's just not worth it for them. They're like,
yeah, because most hedge funds that I've talked to, like the big Wall Street guys, they don't want to buy anything smaller than 16 unit, because if you have a 16 unit typically or larger, you can pay for on-site maintenance or on-site management. It makes sense to have somebody manage the whole entire thing. But when you get with smaller units, the quality generally of managers on a local level starts dropping off. So it's like, a hedge fund, if they really want to do it, then they've got to buy a crap load of managers. There's a lot of people that right now that are furious about BlackRock buying like they got like 25,000 houses, and then I think it's A4H, they've got 35,000 houses. And the thing is, I look at companies like that. If you look at where their actual cash yield on those properties is, it's practically nothing. They're only making money off appreciation on those.
Oh,
because they're so difficult to manage. Yeah, your tenants are higher quality. Yeah, they're paying a lot of rent. But when it comes time for turnovers and everything, they're terrible to manage if you're trying to buy on a regional or national level. That's why most hedge funds have avoided them forever.
Wow.
So it's go big or go home with them. It's
Yes.
like, yo, if it's not a 16 unit or whatever, we don't want to lend on it.
Yeah.
So okay.
So if I'm a first, like in your opinion, I'm the average guy on the street, right? I work a job 9 to 5. How should I get into real estate? Should I buy single family? Should I buy multifamily? What do you think I should start with?
For me, it's hard, like as a guy from Central Ohio, to say like this strategy will work for you, because I have so many people that are in New York City or they're in LA. I have like how many people live in LA,
Cash.
and they're like, I can't get into real estate. You're a freaking liar. No one can get into real estate in Los Angeles. And I'm like, well, you've got to get a little more complicated. You're either going to have to buy out if you want to buy, you need to get outside Los Angeles, or you're going to have
Vegas.
To
go to Vegas.
Yeah, or go to Vegas.
Vegas,
Yeah.
good market.
Yeah.
I got absolutely ripped to shreds probably 2 years ago. People just calling me out saying I was a liar. And then I started looking at properties in San Bernardino County, and I ended up finding quite a few properties in the $150,000 $200,000 range in northwest San Bernardino County, out in the country ish. And they would have made great rentals. I did my Zillow research, $1,000 a month for a 3-bed, 1-bath. Most of them are double wide trailers.
Okay, sure.
And yeah, they would have made great money, and they were about a 2-hour drive from LA.
Okay.
And for me, if I want to get in real estate, I want to get something that cash flows, I want to get some appreciation. Who cares if it's a 2-hour drive, 2.5 hours? Yeah, I realize that you're not going to do it when there's a lot of traffic. That's opportunity. Or you can go in and you could control real estate through contracts. Real estate options are a thing that no one realizes that you can go.
What are those? Break it down for the people.
Options and master leases. In practically all the United States, you can write a contract that says anything. I could rent this unit that overlooks this and control it if I offered you guys rent for it. Like I'll give you guys $100,000 a month for the place, and you guys would maybe consider it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe
$100,000 a month. Yeah. So what you do is you go in and you find a deal that works for somebody that owns property, and then you ask to control it.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't understand that that's legal in practically every state. So I've gone and done a lot of those deals.
So you're not on the hook for paying the mortgage; you just control it. Okay.
So my buddy does that with Airbnb. He'll like go to the owner, say, "Hey man, I'll pay this much in rent every month, but I want to have access to kind of renovate it, fix it up under your control."
Yeah, that's called a master lease or Airbnb arbitrage.
Yeah,
and it's like that has been a thing. Maybe not the Airbnb portion of it, but master lease arbitrage, it's been a thing for 100 years. Yeah. I've got houses that you can look at the deed and you found that some old lady did that. Practically every trust in the United States, that's how they make money. If you have a trust that owns real estate, the trust cannot legally rent out a property, but a person that controls it as a manager does, and that you can master lease a property from a trust, and then you can manage it. And you have a cascade of contracts, and you can control real estate like that. And I recently bought an apartment complex for $250. Yeah.
What? Shraggy?
Doing that. I did a master lease on it. Yeah, I did it, a master lease. I took control of a duplex with a single family attached house on it for $250 because drug dealers were inside of it, and the guy did not
want to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the power, though. You could literally be almost broke and control it, because guess what? If they don't want to do it, hands off. But you want to.
A lot of time people pay for that convenience.
Yeah,
and they don't want to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah.
So from what I'm seeing here is like you find deals, you collect money from people, you purchase, you purchase it. So the people that invest with you, are they on the contract as well? How does that
they're
work?
Partners. We form an LLC. They fund the LLC.
Okay.
And I don't talk about percentages,
of course,
because every investor is a different deal.
Of course.
I have a certain percentage with them, certain percentage with them. Some of them have a guaranteed payment every month. Other ones don't have a guaranteed payment each month, but I'm partners on all these properties. And of course I've got quite a few properties that it's nobody else but me.
Yeah.
But I've got all these different real estate deals, and I've done them. I haven't put any more money in it since I started in 2013 with $25,000.
So you haven't put any of your own capital into any of these deals?
Yeah. So I do.
So you just find them, and then you get a percentage for finding it, bringing it to the table. All right, I got this deal right here. This is how much we're looking to make cash flow. you get this percentage, I get this percentage, or maybe they just want to set them out. They don't want to be bothered with anything else. And then you basically execute the entire deal for them. You do everything. All they got to do is show up to closing and sign and fund it.
They don't even do that.
They don't even do that.
No. They wire funds to their bank, and I send them an e-sign document on the internet and ask them to sign it through the phone.
So they literally, it's hands off. They don't do anything.
I haven't met most of my investors.
Wow.
I think I've met two. The landlord that kicked me out when I was 6, and then the guy from Texas, he wanted to fly and meet me after we bought the first 2 properties with him, because I bought a duplex for $8,900. They the company that auctioned it off did not advertise it at all. They sent postcards.
Was it foreclosure or something? Or
no. Yeah, it was a foreclosure, but it was a national foreclosure company, and they decided all they're going to do. They even put a sign out in the yard. They had a postcard in the window. And they sent postcards to the 100 closest residents. Every single house in that whole entire area is a rental. So they sent postcards to buy a house to renters. No one bid on the property. I was the only one.
So for someone, if they want to invest with you, basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you find the deal, you bring them the contract, you agree, you guys negotiate some kind of thing, depending on how many investors are involved in it. Once you guys negotiate it and you agree, cool, contract's written up. You do everything. You deal with the down payments, the getting going, showing up and doing the walkthroughs, all that stuff. And then all they have to do is just e-sign something. And then what? You just send them a check every month for their portion?
Yeah. Wow. Because I don't manage the property in the sense that I'm a third-party manager, because the state of Ohio wants you to have a license to manage someone else's property.
Okay.
And that never made sense to me. I'm like, I can own the deal. I can have a percentage, and we figure that out. Or I'll just get the money from them, and I'll just manage my own real estate. You don't need a license for that, which I do have a license, but it makes the legal framework of that stuff so simple. It makes it so easy to do. And I want to do things the easiest legal way possible.
And you have investors all over Ohio. I mean,
all over the U.S.
All over the U.S. that invest in Southern Ohio, your market that you have
2 counties in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just static on my mic or no?
No, you're good.
I'm good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You sound fine on my end. But make sure that on the chat, let us know. Guys, let us know. Give us ones in the chat if the sound is good on all mics. Give us ones in the chat if it's good.
Cool.
No, that's interesting stuff, man. So, okay, so we'll go transition over to the commercial stuff. So tell us about. Let's start with the storage facilities, because I've heard about this. I've watched it on Bigger Pockets. I've heard a bunch of real estate investors talk about how storage units are fantastic. It's one of the best things.
Yeah. It's overlooked. People don't know how it really works.
Yeah. So can you break that down for us?
Sure. Yeah. And it's the same for garages, like buying like garages too. That's like one thing that's super overlooked. So storage locker facilities, people buy a lot of crap. You know, we're in a society very consumeristic. Everybody buys too much stuff, and you run out of space in your house. So you got to find a place to store it. So if you would think about what's it cost to build a shell for like a storage locker, it's a concrete slab, some walls, a roll-up door. It's really not very involved. And because of that, the prices on them generally in the past has been super cheap. Last time I looked at building one, it's $30 a square foot to build 1 square foot in a storage locker facility. You can re-rent that space for 50 cents, in a really hot area, $1 a month. So you do those numbers. If you build a new storage locker facility, you can get a 25% cash return. Now, not many people. It's insane. Not many people are selling on that kind of cash return because they've had them for a few years. They've got the money and they're selling them. So you might go out and you might find a storage locker facility on like an 8% return rate or 10% return rate. The advantage with those is they're ultra easy to manage. I've seen guys and they go in and fully automate a storage locker facility. Every door has like a phone app on it. You go and you lock and unlock your unit. You pay with your phone. You buy a subscription service. And so imagine like Netflix, but the Netflix payment's like $75, $100, $150, $200 a month.
Yeah.
And you're just getting billed. Otherwise, your storage locker gets locked and they throw your stuff out in the yard or they auction it off. On top of that, you're raising the price 3 to 5% every year, or you raise it for whatever the inflation rate is. So this year you got hammered with a 7.8% increase in your storage locker facility or your storage locker rent. And you start figuring out what those numbers are. Commercial banks love lending on them because the foreclosure rate on them and when bad stuff happening to them is very rare. So they love to lend on them. It's pretty easy to go in with an SBA deal and you buy one for 10% down. You get access to government.
Small Business Administration.
Yeah, Small Business Administration.
So, which is a government agency, guys, here in the United States that allows, small businesses to, they get loans, they get certain perks of running a small business, you guys know, the small businesses are the cornerstone of the United States economy. So you're able to get an SBA loan. You don't even got to go to a bank. You can go to get an SBA loan to go ahead and fund, and they'll give you what, 80%, up to 80%?
A lot of the stuff I'm seeing right now is 90%.
They'll give you 90%?
90%.
And you only put 10% down?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I last one I talked to was a 4% interest rate. So you're buying the property with 10% down, 4% interest rate, and then you're renting it out on an 8% return. So you're collecting this 4% spread from the federal government just to buy the storage locker facility. And as time goes on, you're raising the rent rates 3% or 5% a year.
That's insane. Are there like certain guys? I don't think you understand the power of that. You're only putting in 10. So let's say, a storage facility is never going to. Would they be as cheap as 100,000? Let's say it's 500,000, right? For a storage facility, literally you would only put in what 10% of
550K.
You put in 50K, and control a $500,000 commercial property that basically is making you quite a bit of money, and you're only putting in that 10% of your own money, and then the government is going to lend you the other 90%. That's insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely
at a 4% interest rate.
Yeah,
which is very low.
And that's like one of the things I get aggravated with, because I failed like math in school. Like I was terrible at it. Then I figured out one day how to run an Excel spreadsheet where you just type the numbers in and it'll auto calculate everything. And then I started doing that with all these investments. Like, holy freaking crap. This is like playing a video game where I'm just going on the internet or I'm looking for real estate or businesses. I'm just typing these numbers in and I can figure out super quick how I can make money off of them. And I realized that hardly anybody does that. I'll do like a Facebook Live or YouTube Live video where I'm just typing the numbers in an Excel spreadsheet and showing people how to make money off real estate. And 95% of the people have never ever seen that happen.
Wow.
Like, this sucks. Like I failed algebra, just miserably failed algebra. And now I'm doing all these calculations because I realized how much money I can make. It would mean success for my family. Would mean that my wife didn't have to have a job. It meant that we might be able to afford a car that didn't break down. The summer of 1997, when my family lived in the middle of a cornfield, we only had one car in the family. It broke down. And my grandma had to come and get us groceries every week or however long it was. We couldn't even get out away from our farm. The grocery store.
Not having a car in Ohio is a big problem, guys.
Wow.
I'm from Connecticut, so I already know the pain of that. You need to drive everywhere.
Yeah, you have to drive everywhere. And it would have been walking probably 3 hours to go get food unless my grandma came and got it. I'm like, that's not an environment that I want my family to ever have. So I've got to figure out how do I make money. And then once I got in it, I'm like, holy freaking crap, this is so easy to do because your average person has no interest in doing it. They watch a YouTube video or TikTok video like, oh, this thing's a scam. And I'm like, it's not a scam, but it's probably a little bit complicated. You've got to spend more than a 59-second video to get yourself educated to learn. Yeah. And it was crazy because when I got in real estate, I started talking to real estate agents and they could not do the math to save their lives. Yeah. And I've had this conversation with agents that owned rentals and they hated the rentals. And we broke it down to like how much money they were making an hour to own a rental. And it was like one lady was making $1,500 an hour to own a rental.
Nice.
Yeah, she was making just incredible amounts of money by owning rental properties. She hated it. She preferred to work 60 hours a week as a full-time real estate agent. Well, full-time plus overtime, making $50,000 a year because it looked nice. Yeah. Because it had the affluence with it. She preferred that as opposed to going to Sherwin-Williams and getting paint and picking out carpet once every 5 years when the rental turned over. Yeah. And I was like, how you have more money.
It's that employee mindset that everyone teaches you. Like in the United States, you go to school, you get indoctrinated to become an employee versus being an employer. That's what they teach you. You know what I'm saying?
We also know that women prefer, office spaces, AC. Yeah, they don't do it.
They don't want to do physical manual labor. Yeah. And for any of you guys, that's misogynistic. No, it's true. It's a fact. They prefer not to do manual labor. So storage units, you can get, I did not know that you can get a 90-10 loan on that.
Yeah, I want to buy one now, bro.
Are those exploding in popularity? Because I've heard about this from Bigger Pockets. It's kind of one of the best kept secrets.
Yeah, they have been. And what happens is someone talks about them and they talk about how great they are. And then the yields go down. But then you wait a little bit and then you start getting more deals. But then as soon as you get out from the pack and you start doing the things that no one else does, like you actually start calling people, you stop, and there's nothing wrong with getting on Redfin or Zillow or whatever, realtor.com and looking at property. Once you start actually doing the research and calling people and asking them, hey, you want to sell your property? That's how I ended up with this car washes. And my laundromats for that matter. Mm-hmm. I just started finding out who owns the property and getting myself in front of them and saying, hey, can I buy your property? Yeah. And once you start getting and negotiating things, magic starts happening. Yeah. And I just didn't understand that before I got in real estate, that's how a lot of people are successful.
Some of the best deals,
you networking, man. Networking.
Some of the best deals you're not going to find. Like this deal that I just closed on, it was off market. It was because I had purchased the property as a developer. I purchased a property from him late last year. And then when he was finishing rehabbing this place, he was like, hey, do you want it? And it was a duplex. And, I was able to get it. It pretty much is going to have good depreciation and cost segregation. But and I'll do an episode for you guys, by the way, with Roger, where I'm going to break down the numbers with y'all on that duplex. But that goes back to what you're saying. Like that's the importance of having relationships, is that you'll be able to find deals that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to find on the MLS. Because by the time it's on the MLS, guys, sometimes it's too late, bro.
Yeah.
So you mentioned other than real estate, what else do you have for businesses?
Real estate. I've got the newspaper, which the newspaper doesn't make a ton of money. Of course, social media, laundromats, the car washes.
I was going to ask about the car washes
And
next.
then vending machines. I got quite a few vending machines. Well,
Okay.
decent number of vending machines.
Tell us about the car wash, because I know off rip.
I know nothing about car washes.
People love their cars and they want it always clean.
And
they don't
laundromats.
They don't want to do the work, bro. Me personally, wash a car? Hell no.
Yeah.
So
the only thing I know about laundromats is I know that they were like good for money laundering when I was working law enforcement.
my granddad owned one back in the day in New York, and they made him a killing. He bought it from the Jews.
Yeah.
Shout out to them, man. They blessed us. They blessed us, man. Like you said, negotiation. He used to work for them. Then he had one in the property, and then he sold it.
Yeah. So tell us how's the car wash industry work?
Car washes are amazing. Like I would not have ever believed that people were making as much money what they do in car washes. I guess it's a pretty public thing that a guy sold off. It was 10 car washes and they were like in New Jersey, New York, like really high population densities. And when they transferred the assets, they found out they were making $1 million a month a piece.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it was 10. They sold for like $150 million, and they were bringing in $10 million a month gross, not net.
Jesus Christ.
But the net was like $2 million.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And they went and got Wall Street money. But those kinds of businesses do incredible because you charge somebody like $50 a month. I've seen some ultra premium ones, so like $200 a month, and you can get your car hand washed, unlimited usages. And then there's ways that they can go in and they can kind of limit that back just a little bit. But a lot of it with the tunnel car washes, it's automated. You don't have to have a ton of employees. It's like a laundromat. You have a couple people there to help people and make sure they get on the conveyor belts, and then that's all you do. And the water and the soap aren't super expensive. The maintenance for the machines, if you get good quality equipment, it's not really that bad. And you just have a subscription service, and you're charging people, $20 to $200 a month.
So that's the key. Is it the subscription service?
Yeah, that's where the people are making the big bucks. I don't do that. What we do is a one-time paid ultra premium car wash. Like we've got like 3 levels of ceramics, like 1 or 2 levels of wax. And when we bought it, we just came in with all of the options as opposed to a basic car wash. We doubled the prices.
Okay.
And it worked.
It's funny
great.
because when you have a monthly payment, right? Most people, they'll go maybe one every other month. They won't go every single month, and they still pay you monthly, so you don't really lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had that subscription. So because that's interesting. I'm seeing a trend here because it was the same thing with the storage units. That was also on a subscription basis to a degree as well.
Yeah, rentals are too if you think about it.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's kind of like if you don't subscribe, you're homeless. But
Netflix.
So in this case, so with the storage units, you had a subscription. So I'm seeing a trend here where like you automate it. You almost keep it hands off, which I'm assuming that's probably fairly expensive to get it automated, where you have everything is done digitally. They go on their phone, they do everything, but you save money and time.
It is. But if you think of what the yield is, there's so much of an opportunity out there for younger people like millennials and Gen Zs that can actually understand the technology well enough to implement it.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to companies that are trying to do automation in different businesses. They want $100,000 to automate something. And my car wash, there's certain things you can automate for like $50 a unit.
Yeah.
Because if you could run a cell phone and you know how to set up like a little Raspberry Pi server, you don't need any of this technology that they're trying to sell you. So I see a huge opportunity for younger people.
What's a Raspberry Pi server?
Raspberry Pi is just this little computer. It's like a glorified cell phone.
Okay.
And you can run programs on it, and then you can have that run as an access point or server. So I can count how many cars that go through a car wash bay. I can monitor the temperature of all of my water lines in the car wash.
Gotcha.
So before something freezes up and a line busts in the winter, because we have pretty cold winters in Ohio.
Yeah.
Before that line busts, I'll get an alert on my phone and say, "Hey, car wash bay 3's freezing up. You better do something about it."
So you basically it's an interface to allow you access to your own car washes to automate things from behind the scenes, so that you need less employees.
Yeah, and like you talk about the money stuff, which is what I'm known for, going and getting quarters for my businesses. Like I had this great idea because the machines, some of them only hold like $1,500 worth of quarters.
Okay.
And if you have a laundromat or a car wash, that's a good day.
Yeah.
So if you think about having to go and refill $1,500 in quarters potentially once or twice a day, if you like,
goddamn,
yeah, if you hit it hard, it's a pain
and it's heavy.
Yeah, it's
$1,500 a quarters.
Wow, it's 75 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I know that right off the top of my head. So it's like it's 75 pounds, and if you go during the wrong time, you've just made a trip to your business, and if it's automated, you shouldn't be there 24/7.
Yeah.
So I had the bright idea. I'm going to take a cheap like Amazon camera. I'm just going to put it in the machine. It's on Wi-Fi. I can run power in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have cameras sitting on my change machines, and I can see how much money I've made and how many quarters are left. And I can just go when I need to, rather than I've ran into guys that they were driving intentionally to a car wash and checking it 3 times a day.
Wow.
Just because they wanted to make sure they weren't running out of it.
Wait, can they Apple Pay it though? Wouldn't that be easier?
I mean, yeah, we've got that too, but
okay.
Man, you'd
like
be shocked. Maybe I'm sure in Miami that a lot of people here use credit cards more often than they do in Ohio, but 50% of my sales on several of the segments of the car wash are still quarters.
God damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're just throwing coins in there, man.
These are some gems here, man.
Yeah, no, this is good stuff.
Go follow Investment Joy on YouTube, man. And then sub to the channel.
Definitely. Okay, so I'll read some of these chats real quick before we get into the next one, which is going to be Laundromats. I got some questions.
I have a channel up right here. Everyone sit.
Yeah, let's pull up his YouTube channel real fast. Guys, go check him out, man. Here's his YouTube channel right here, Investment Joy. Make sure to subscribe. And you basically take them through your day, right? Of like how you manage all your businesses and your properties.
Yep.
Which is good stuff, man. And guys, like I said, man, I tell you all the time that real estate is I think is the best asset class when it comes to. I mean, well, hell, we could talk about taxes as well. How it helps with taxes, and as far as like depreciation, cost segregation, whatever it may be, man. There's a reason why a lot of people that own a lot of real estate, bro, don't pay taxes, man. Like, look at Donald Trump, look at Robert Kiyosaki, look at Grant Cardone. They're not paying taxes like that, bro. Like they own real estate. Josh, $10. What about buying homes around military? Oh, read that one. $5. D nice. But follow Investment Joy since bigger pockets. He is the goal of making money. Laundromat King. Keep winning. Fresh Fit. Thank you, bro.
There you go.
Hey, fam. Not sure if this has been clarified already, but what's the best way to negotiate lower interest rate for single family residents? Okay, this is a good question. What you go ahead and give your take on it, and then I have a strategy you could do.
I mean, there's a bunch of different things you could. Probably the easiest way is to price shop. Don't go with the first bank that you run into. I've seen people drop 2 or 3% off a loan because somebody else had a better one.
Yep.
You can also ask the bank if you can prepay your interest, and the terms. The specific term is points. You can ask to pay 1 or 2% of your loan costs to get your interest rate down.
That's what I did.
And I've run into people that they were saying that 30-year mortgages on smaller houses right now are like 6.5%.
Yeah.
I just looked at loan documents the other day, and it dropped them from the mid 6s down to like 5.1 just because they paid the bank $800 at closing. So in a situation like that, they're going to, as long as they live in there for like 3 years, they're going to save a ton of interest in it. And unless you know to ask your bank that question, you might not know that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Wow.
And guys, I think I agree with you 100%. Buying points is so there's 2 things. You guys got to remember that when they do that hard inquiry on you to get to see what you qualify as a rate and everything like that when you're going through the lending process, you can take that time, guys, and shop different rates from different banks and go to each bank like this is what they gave me, this is what they gave me, and then try to negotiate a better rate because when you get different checks from different banks, that's all going to count as one hard inquiry because it's common where when you get that hard inquiry, you're going to go shop rates at different banks. Okay. So that's one thing. So you could go ahead and just like you said, compare different rates. And then another thing too, I'm a big fan of buying points. So like on this deal that I had, the interest rate was going to be like 5.99 or whatever. I was able to get it to 5.25 on a 30-year fixed by buying points. And that will lower your interest rate significantly. Now you guys are probably wondering, well, why is that good? Well, over a 30-year loan, over the life of the loan, bringing it down from 6% all the way down to like 5.25, you're going to save a significant amount of money. Yes. Are you going to have to come to closing with a bit more money? Yeah, but it's going to get you more cash flow. It's going to increase your cash on cash return over the life of the loan that you have it. So, and then not only that, you could buy points and then you could do an ARM, which we talked about earlier, or adjustable rate mortgage, where they're probably going to give you a better interest rate that's below the market. But like I said before, it's going to balloon up at some point when it ends. So, but you could do an ARM all the way from 1 to 10 years, and then you can refinance out of that at the end. Just make sure you have a little bit of cash at the end, which hopefully if you're cash flowing your properties and you know what you're doing, you're investing properly, you'll have that money so that you can do a cash out refi and then get a new
also come in there with the right credit score, because if it's a shitty credit score,
they're going to kill you anyway. You need a good credit score.
750 750 and up, 720 and up.
But
At
I'm
least.
a fan of buying points, guys. Buying points
Yeah.
actually does help you because so I had this deal that I was talking about. And I'll talk more detail, but long story short, I only put 20% down because I normally put 25. But if I had put 25 down, it wouldn't have made sense to get that same cash flow. But instead of doing that, what I did was I put 20% down, attacked the interest rate,
Yeah.
paid more, and then I was able to get the cash on cash up to like 12% just by doing that. Whereas like if I didn't buy the points down, it would have been at like 10. So and instead of putting 25% down, yeah, you'll get a little bit. Your cash on cash actually goes down because you're putting more money into the deal. That makes sense.
So guys, there's power in knowing how to attack the deal from different angles.
Yeah.
So,
but yes, buying points, I like that. And then you got the adjustable rate mortgage was another option. Jay Wynn, $10. Do you guys have any experience using hard money loans? Fresh could tell you about that. I'm looking into getting a hard money loan or FHA loan to build a duplex or purchase a duplex. What's your take on that, Fresh?
don't do it, bro.
Yeah.
If you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take on hard money loans?
I'm fine with them.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with them.
If you could turn around quick, I think it's a good move.
Yeah, it just depends on your personal financial situation. The lender, some hard money lenders are going to ream you on interest rates, and then they're going to come to collect however they desire. So you got to be aware of that. But there's other hard money loan situations that I've done myself, and they worked out just unbelievably wonderful.
Would it be fair to say, like with hard money loans, it's just you got to basically have a good turnaround, like fairly quickly?
You have to have a rock solid plan.
Yeah. A lot of rehabbers use it. You know what I'm saying? Because they get the money quick,
Get in
fix
and get
the house, and then they're able to sell it up, put it on the market, and sell it quick. But in general, for most people, bro, hard money loans is going to be a very crazy risk for you. Dropping heavy gems, hit the like button.
That's
cool.
facts, man.
And then preferably, if you have the cash stores, like you could do it. It'd be optimally doing a hard money loan would be good if you actually have the money and you just don't want to use yours.
Mhm.
You know, but if push comes to shove, you can go ahead and pay it off, so you don't have to pay that. What hard money loans go up to like 15,
Bro.
20% sometimes.
18 plus. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
They'll get you.
What's the initial investment for car wash store?
Last thoughts?
It depends.
It's so hard to say. You can do an SBA loan and get 10% to 20%.
You can do an SBA
down.
loan on a car wash too.
Oh yeah. They love it.
Wow.
Yeah, because SBA loves equipment heavy investments as opposed to real estate heavy investments because they don't want people to go in and use an SBA loan to buy an apartment complex. There are FHA programs for that. There's there's a FHA program that you can buy like 100 unit apartment complex with
What?
like practically no interest. I never get it wrong. I think it's a 223B loan. It's like almost
okay.
you hire there's like almost no down payment for it. You have to have like a 5,000 page study done. And it's just incredible. And like the interest rate 2 or 3%, 40-year amortization.
Wait, 40 years and then
40-year AM.
and what's the interest rate typically?
The last one I saw was 2%.
Wow.
It's like whatever the federal low prime interest rate is. It's insane.
Not
insane.
market. It's its own.
The
own
federal
class.
government buys the paper.
So
on
why doesn't everyone do it?
You have to typically investors hire a paperwork navigator
Oh,
that helps you fill out the paperwork, and they start at $50,000. So you hire essentially an attorney and a firm to only do the paperwork for you.
gotcha.
But
Okay.
I've run into guys and they're building multifamily, new build residential. It typically has to have some sort of benefit to low income people. So you might be wanting to do Section 8 or senior housing or something like that. And it's complicated and people don't do it. But all the money in the world's out there. You just have to figure out how to do it.
You got to figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
So I guess the price entry of that one is that $50K to get someone in to do the survey and everything else like that. And with commercial, like, how long can it take? It could take you like damn near a couple months to do a commercial deal big like that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
These FHA deals, I've heard they're like a year.
Yeah.
But I used to walk every night when I lived in town, and I walked by some gigantic senior housing project, and you read the little loan programs they went through, and I'm sure nobody ever Googled those.
Mhm.
And then you find out that banks are required under the Community Reinvestment Act to save a certain amount of their money that comes in for disenfranchised, low income. Just there's a whole class that they want to earmark money for. So the company got $25 million for the federal government to redo an old school into apartments. And you find out what their promise to repay was. It was like a 1% loan.
That's crazy. So it's hard to get in because you got to basically get the staff in to make the deal happen.
Yeah.
But what they reward you in is like, okay, if you're able to get your people in to make this deal happen, we're going to reward you with a really good interest rate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And give you is it like 90-10 too? Something like that with those?
I've heard, I haven't seen with my own eyes that they were doing 100%.
What?
Yeah. These were for insane because some guy did it in Southern Ohio with a USDA a USDA grant fund, and
Yeah.
they built like 500 houses just overnight.
Wow.
Yeah. And you see those deals every so often come up on like these preferred government sales.
And I can only imagine what kind of tax write-offs he's getting.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's
If I
If
can
you
spend
provide housing
50K,
or employment, you're
Yeah.
going to get crazy tax benefits, guys. That's one thing you guys got to understand. I've said it a million times on this podcast. That's why I tell y'all all the time. Having real estate and or having employees or your own business is one of the best ways to circumvent paying taxes legally, of course,
Yeah.
because you create infrastructure for the U.S. government when you provide housing and jobs. If you can do those two things, you're going to get crazy tax benefits, man. The U.S. government incentivizes entrepreneurs and people that provide real estate or housing.
yo, y'all should be inspired to get your money at, man, because these type of strategies here, man, could change your life.
Yeah, I didn't even know about some
That's
of this
crazy.
stuff. That's crazy. I'm learning myself. Anything else, Chris? Oh, he's okay. That's fine. We'll keep going. So tell us about transitioning over to laundromats.
Laundromats.
So how'd you get into laundromats?
I-
How'd those go?
I saw one and it was for sale, and a buddy of mine said, "Hey, let's go figure out what a laundromat makes." And we went and we looked at our first laundromat, and they were making $8,500 a month in quarters. And looking at the deal, she only wanted $55,000 for the place.
Really?
Yeah, 55 grand, and they were bringing in, it was like 90,000 a year. And I thought, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. And my buddy and I, we were like, we will pay you full price for this place. We'll close in 2 weeks. Some guy,
Because y'all did it cash.
well, some guy heard that we were doing that, and he's like, I heard they offered you 55K. He was physically in the building. We had no clue. He's like, I'll give you 60.
Wow.
So she told us she was going to call us, and we are going to do the deal and everything. And this other guy sniped me. He had an inspection, fixed the inspection. The location was going to fall apart, and then he ended up closing on $35,000.
Really?
Yeah, because he had all these failed inspection reports, and the lady was elderly, and he took them all to her and said, "Hey, you got to close on this for 35K."
Okay. And she ended up doing it.
Yeah. So, but after that point, I was
What
like,
was she making a month? Like net?
Net probably, gosh, 6,000.
6,000 net?
6,000 net a month.
She only sold it for 35?
Yeah.
She just didn't want to deal with it
She
anymore?
probably needed to just get out.
She was done.
Okay. And she had it paid off and everything?
Oh yeah.
Damn. Okay.
It was like paid off in the 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say she probably bought it for like some crazy low price or whatever.
That nigga's a sniper. He took that shit from you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And did you
oh.
even know that he was in the process of doing all this stuff? You didn't even know.
No, we had no clue till it closed. And
Wow.
I asked my buddy, because he was really close to the laundromat physically, and I said, "Whatever happened to this deal? What's going on?" And he's like, "That scumbag so and so in town bought it under us." And the appraisal came back bad.
And she never called you?
No.
Wow.
Because after we
He probably
left,
told her.
after he
Don't call
left,
him.
after we left, he went up and talked to the lady.
Wow.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So speaking of laundromats, because here's my thing, and please correct me if I'm wrong here. I've always wondered, like, are laundromats like a good invest? Like in New York City, I can see why they're good. Because in New York City, for example, a lot of the apartments you have like a shared laundromat, or they might not even have they don't have laundry in general. A lot of units in New York City, unless you're like in a newer, upgraded building, you're gonna have to go to a laundromat to do your laundry. The building don't even have laundry. So in New York City, they're very, very popular.
Yo, my guy and I made a killing from that in New York.
Yeah, like especially in the city. But what about but like in Ohio, where everyone has a home or they have more space or whatever? Is it like common to like go to laundromat?
Yeah, but I mean, we have government housing still in Ohio, and a lot of the government housing that was built prior to 1975-ish, none of them have washers and dryers.
Oh,
So if you figure out a location that's close,
okay, so that's very location dependent. Laundromats.
So my laundromat's right next to one, but you have to think about it from this standpoint. There's a lot of people that don't want to do their own laundry. So if you have somebody in the laundromat that will take other people's laundry and then they'll wash, dry, and fold it, and then they'll send it back to them or allow it for pickup, you can make a killing off mid-level, like mid-income earners.
Okay,
Because they don't want to do laundry. No one wants to really do laundry.
I haven't been in a laundromat for years. So they have services now where like you literally just drop your stuff off and then they wash it, clean it, fold it for you, and just give it to you. And you just come pick
and
it
there's
up.
people that will bring it back to your house too.
Yeah.
Bam.
God
Okay.
damn.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more pricey, but it's worth it.
Okay.
For some people.
For some. Okay. So is that like a newer thing now that like they're? Because I remember when I was a kid going to laundromats, like you went there yourself and you did it, and like I remember my mom dragging me as a kid in New York. This is when I was in New York City. Dragged me, she'd do it, and she fold it there. But like, has that always been around? Where they
packages
It's been around forever. It's just that it's getting more popular because more people don't want to do their own clothes. Now the home pickup and delivery thing, like the subscription service, like Amazon, where they come and pick your laundry up and they deliver it back to you. That's the new thing.
Wow.
Uber laundries.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing here, and this is really interesting. So so you put it in an area that is lower socioeconomic status because they're government housing. They don't have their own laundromats. So at the lower tier, you're at least getting their quarters, right? You're getting their money so that they can just wash their stuff. And then the people that have a little bit more extra money, they can not only just drop their laundry up, they can go ahead and get it delivered to them at a subscription service. You're kind of burning the candle at two different ends here from two different statuses.
You do it right, you can.
Okay.
And then some people's washers and dryers are so small, it can't hold the full load. Or if some of their sheets, so they'll just go to the laundromat. Hey, do this for me. I don't want to do with it. Drop it off and pick it up later on. Or get it delivered.
Interesting. So, okay, that's really cool. So from that, so with the laundromats, like, so you're running that subscription service, and then you're also collecting like regular coins from like, regular people. What's it like operating that? Is it low maintenance? Is it?
I mean, I'm to the point. I don't do anything other than I go collect money from my laundromat and do YouTube videos about it. That's all I do anymore.
You just go and get the quarters and stuff.
That's all I do. Is I just collect the money. Yeah,
automated, man.
Yeah,
it's fun.
What about employee staffing?
I've got a cleaning lady. She comes in. She kind of spends 2-3 hours a day at the laundromat at different times, making sure nothing's.
Consuela.
No, not this time. I would love one. No, it's just a girl that I know, and she goes and she checks it out. She sends a text message to my assistant if there's a problem. She restocks my vending machines that are on in the laundromat too, and then she cleans it at night, locks it up, and we go around the next day. We're in the process of transitioning to a 24/7 laundromat.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm worried about crime there, but we're going to do like a buzzer system or a code system where you can get in the laundromat if you are a customer.
Okay.
So you can
a subscription based again, right?
Maybe not. We might charge them like $5 for a card.
Okay.
Just to access it at night.
So with that laundromat, I'm assuming you have a subscription service too, where like,
Not yet,
but you're working on it so that people can go ahead and get their stuff folded and everything and delivered to them.
Yep.
Okay. And will that like dramatically increase revenue? I
expect to double or triple. I'm targeting after we do drop off and subscription service and we expand the actual laundromat. I'm hoping to target between $20,000 and $25,000 a month gross revenue, and I'm expecting between $10,000 and $12,000 of that to be net profit.
Wow.
So,
and I gotta know, brother, what got you into YouTube? Like, because your videos are, man, some of them have like 2 million views, 3 million views. Like, what got you into like YouTube?
So like what really started me was back in 2017. I bought a train station that we turned into.
Wait, you bought a train station?
I bought a train station.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like the coolest thing ever. If you ever play Monopoly, you see the B&O Railroad. That's like the Baltimore, Ohio Railroad.
Yes.
There's a train station where I live.
Oh.
And someone started turning into apartments forever ago. And I bought it and I thought this would be the coolest video ever to put on the internet, fixing up a train station. And it had like 100 views. And it just absolutely bombed and did terrible. And I thought, and I was like, this sucks. And I did some more videos. And then I released one video when I had like 50 some units. And it was a video of breaking down how I got each deal. So I said, I bought this house for $25,000. I bought it off HUD. We put $20,000 in. It makes me $1,000 a month. And then that property number 2. And I went through the first 40 that I bought. That one ended up getting like 50,000 views in 2 months.
Wow.
And I was like, holy crap, this is pretty cool. So I just kind of played around with it, screwed around with YouTube and social media for my real estate stuff and my business stuff up until I bought the laundromat. And I thought, this is probably one of the coolest projects I've ever done.
Yeah.
When I did the train station, I really didn't put any thought into it. I just got the phone in my pocket and did a video and just like whatever. I thought, I'm going to start documenting this whole process of rehabbing the laundromat, and I'm going to document how much money it makes. And I started doing those videos, and they started doing okay.
How many laundromats do you own, by the way?
I've got 2 right now, but I'm selling one of them right now.
Okay. Are you in by yourself on those, or you have investors?
I've got one investor, but he's pretty much just a lender.
Okay.
He's got practically no equity or anything, and I just write him a check every month for a little bit of money and call it a day. Yeah. So I was doing the YouTube videos, and they did okay. And I thought, if I was actually smart about this and actually put some brain power into this, I would treat my YouTube stuff like a business. And for a business, you need to actually spend some time researching and find out what people want.
Yeah.
So then I started finding out, I was doing 3-minute videos here and 5-minute videos here. That's stupid. You need to be doing 12 to 25-minute videos.
Yeah.
Okay. Your
to
title
monetized.
Yeah.
Mid rolls, ad rolls.
Yeah.
I need to stop making really stupid titles. And I need to put into better titles on. I need to do better thumbnails. So like on the first video I had that did really well, I took a bucket of all the quarters I had and I just threw it on a table, took a picture of it. It was like $800 worth of quarters I got that day.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I was like, that's a pretty cool thumbnail.
Yeah.
And I uploaded that and it started doing really good. And then I got interviewed on the Graham Steffens show. And it's just
Shout out to him, man.
whatever. I was unmonetized.
The coffee hour, right?
I was on the show way back in 2019 on his show where he had the radio call-in show.
Okay.
Where you called him and he did a phone
on his main
channel.
channel.
No, he has another channel like no one watches.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
like called the Graham Stephan Show.
Yes. Actually, yeah.
So I did call in for the Graham Stephan. I picked up like 1,000 subscribers off that.
Yeah.
And I got monetized. And it's like 2 weeks after I got monetized, it's just then I went viral.
Yeah.
And I got like 750,000 views in a day and made like $3,000 in a day off that video. It was crazy. And then I was
YouTube pushes monetization channels.
Yes, they absolutely love it. So then I was like, okay, now I'm making money. And then I just started pushing out video. And I did like a video a week for 3 or 4 months just on that laundromat. And every single video I did really well.
Yeah.
And then the traffic kind of died down. And then I started talking about my real estate investments, my trailer park, and those do pretty well. And then a lot of people told me I should be on TikTok. So I started TikTok in March, and the format for TikTok's very different.
Very different.
Like you have to do things very different.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple months to figure that out. And then I did a video about compounding interest, and I got like 2 million views in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I thought, holy freaking crap, this is insane. And then I started doing TikTok videos, and then YouTube Shorts came out, and then I started uploading my TikTok videos to YouTube Shorts, and then it just started blowing up.
Yeah, no, people really like that, short form content. It's like it's people's preferred thing, and TikTok, the thing is like, it's true organic growth. It's good and bad. It's because it's like when we were on TikTok, we got banned like 8 times because they'll push your stuff out. If it trends, they push it out to anybody. It doesn't matter. So for us, it just happened to be that they sensitive to feminists, but for financial stuff like that's great. And then financial channels always do really well on YouTube in general. Great for, for ads, advertisers want to buy on financial channels. They want to buy space because it's clean. You know what I'm saying? Everyone loves money. So it's like the financial channels do really well from monetization standpoint. So
yeah, I know people that they learn their financial advice from TikTok, which to me is hilarious because I'm like, bro,
it's
60 seconds, bro.
Yeah. But it'll drag you if they have a good YouTube channel. It'll push you to their YouTube stuff too, so you can like learn more. Hopefully, but
there's an Asian guy that does it all the time. I forgot his name, but yeah.
So the laundry, because that's interesting. I mean, I could imagine because like not many people talk about like investing in laundromats because like some people think like I thought it was like a dying like business until you mentioned it yourself. But it looks like if you're smart about where you get it located, it's you can make some serious coin on it. And it's not. I guess it's not that expensive to get. If people are buying it for less than 100,000, like this is crazy. I need to go to Ohio.
Yeah,
they're not really super expensive. The loans you can SBA them all day long, and the companies that make the machines, they'll finance them. So they have a vested interest in seeing you do well and giving you money to start up with.
So SBA will back those as well.
SBA will do it, and then the actual equipment manufacturers will too. And sometimes they beat the SBA. My current equipment loan on my laundromat was no money down. Or my equipment, we tore out all the equipment. Redid a lot of the infrastructure, the water, electric. The company that makes the washers and dryers, Dexter, they just gave me a loan for it. I think I put $2,700 down.
Hold on, let me get this straight. So you're telling me the company that makes the washers and dryers that these laundromats typically use will give you a loan to purchase a laundromat,
or retool
it, and then not only will they give you the loan, they will go ahead and give you the equipment to put into the property, and then you go ahead and make money on that, and that's like almost no money down.
Oh yeah,
holy shit!
Yeah,
hey, y'all want a business to start? There you go.
What the fuck? Yeah. I did not like.
There's so much stuff.
That's crazy.
I got around really good people. I've got a guy that does no money down subways, the restaurants, not underground things.
What?
Yeah. He's got this whole system. He told me forever ago. I was in real estate for like 2 years. He's like, Brandon, you need to buy some subways right now. And I was like, I don't have any experience in food service. Never worked in a restaurant in my life.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can get you some subways right now and no money down. He's like, you need to go. And he's like, you have a 700 plus credit score. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I got a 700 plus credit score. I have no money. He's like, call this number, talk to Anthony at the number. He will get you the money. I can get you subways as collateral. And I'm like, I started looking at the books on them. They were making, it was 2 subways. They were bringing in gross $750,000 a year.
Damn.
Their net was $350,000.
Wow.
He was selling them for $800,000. His company was associated with.
So let me get this straight. So were they making money like on renting the property to the subway?
No, they ran the actual operation of the restaurant.
Oh, so he was actually running the restaurant too.
Yeah, he wasn't touching anything.
Okay.
He was just in the background. He was the CEO of an oil company, and the oil company owned the subways, but they didn't manage anything. They had some lady just manage it all.
Someone from corporate or whatever just comes in.
Yeah,
and
she was a manager. They paid her $50,000 a year, But then the owner just had some oversight over the multiple locations, and I didn't do it. Somebody else called. They got those Subways. They own like maybe 20 Subways now in Southern Ohio. They took the cash flow from just 2, and they've kept building more and more and more. And I look at them, I'm like, holy crap! I could have done a deal with that 4 or 5 years before I got into investment properties, and I would have made all the money I'd ever wanted.
Is Subway just like trying to?
Yo,
what's up?
okay, I hear you now.
Yeah. So it's a question. Is like Subway, like, are they just aggressively trying to expand? So like anyone that's like willing to.
They're not doing that anymore. But when the business came up for sale, they made such good money.
Was it because of Jared?
I don't know how to explain to that.
I don't know, bro.
Jared got in a lot of trouble, my friend.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Jared from the CEO guy that owned a bunch of Subways, and it really quickly turned from he is the greatest salesman in company history to like someone needs to execute him on site. Just to improve the brand.
Like you got in some trouble with the boys from the Phoebes, if you know what I'm saying, man. FBI, open up.
That's scary.
Okay,
right.
so no, that's crazy. So I wonder, are there any other restaurants that are like aggressively doing that right now?
What about?
I'm sure there are, but it's not Subway anymore.
It's not Subway anymore. Okay.
Shout out to Rick Ross with Wingstop.
Yeah, you think about it,
He's
like
killing
Subway
it.
is everywhere, bro. I've always thought about that. Like, Subway's fucking everywhere, but they probably when was this going on?
Like they've been looking empty though.
They are now because they got some really bad management in there. They ended the $5 foot long. That killed them because there's a lot of Subways in California. Their cost to make one is too high. Like California, New York City, so corporate wide, they did away with $5 long foot dogs. Yeah,
$5 foot longs.
Sorry, $5 footlongs. My dyslexia is kicking in.
Yeah,
and I saw the cost basis. One of those subs costs $1.50 to make, maybe $2. So you're making $3 on the sub, and then if you upsell on your
cookies,
chips, and cookies and drinks and stuff like that, then you're at like $8, and all that other stuff just boosts up your revenue, and your net profit. So it was a really good deal for anybody in the Midwest, even anywhere that didn't have like $15 an hour minimum wage. It was a great deal.
Yeah,
but they had so much pressure from people in California, high cost of living areas, to do away with it because people were showing up to Subways in like San Francisco. They don't have $5 footlongs. They're all like $10.
Yeah,
and they just threw a fit. So they ended the advertising. And the CEO, I know that they had sold the Subways off by that point. He's like, this is going to kill the company.
Wow.
Because so many people knew them you could go get lunch for $5.
Yeah. So they expanded, but okay. That's why they're fighting in all these states so hard for like not giving them $15 minimum wage. Cause I could see why that would cause issues. And correct me if I'm wrong here. From what I've understood, I've been told that like the fountain drinks, the chips, the cookies in general with like these fast food restaurants is where they make most of the money anyway. Like that's where they make. It's not the burgers or whatever that they sell. It's the little sides and stuff where they make them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like it doesn't cost that much to run a fountain thing, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, no. You buy a bag of syrup and sometimes like a 5-gallon thing.
Yeah.
And it costs $50 for 5 gallons of syrup, and you can make 1,000 servings with that.
Yeah.
The thing I had always been told, and it's 100% true, is that the cup costs more than the drink.
What the?
Yeah, that's like a pretty well-known thing.
Yeah.
You might have 1% in your
Oh,
cup.
yeah, because it's a fountain, so you just like
they're just like
the bags.
Yeah, and then if you're really like some places, I remember like in New York or whatever, they'll say no refills, so you can really like stretch that.
Hey, sir, where you going? There's no refills, sir.
Yeah, no refills. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know what I would want to own? I don't know if it's a good idea. Hooters.
Yeah, I mean,
nah, man, fuck
no
that shit. Hooters is dying, bro. I mean, at least from what I've.
Bro, niggas are never gonna stop thirsting, bro.
How about
if you want to get a thirst restaurant like Tilted Kilt or something, will probably or Twin Peaks would be
Twin
better.
Peaks
That's more modern.
Yeah,
like Hooters is like is kind of outdated, and their food isn't good enough to like justify going there.
I love the wings, bro.
Yeah, of course, I love the wings, man. GMO, man.
I don't know. I mean,
Chris, I know you're not talking.
I know.
I hate Hooters,
if I was gonna buy like a 304 type restaurant, I would do Twin Peaks. I would do Twin Peaks. I wouldn't do no fucking Hooters, bro. It's like 1975.
I used to go to one of the Pines all the time.
Yeah, the one Pines is pretty lit. It's pretty big.
Chris,
the Hooters?
What's Twin Peaks, bro?
Yeah, I used to live there.
Nigga, you live in Opelika.
Yeah, well, I used to live in Pines.
Okay.
Besides that, okay, so we discussed. Okay, I'll hit the chats real quick, and then yo, guys, do me a quick favor, by the way, yo, y'all are not gonna get info like this anywhere else. Like the goddamn video, bro.
And we got the girls here as well.
Yeah.
How lucrative is starting up your own vending machine? Oh yeah, vending machines. Okay. And also, what are some high traffic locations? All right, I'm going to ask about vending machines next. What's overlooked real estate asset worth trying? And then $10 is investment joy. What's a good amount to invest upfront into vending machines and the average profit amount monthly? We're going to answer that here in a second. Your friend who owns Subways, does Chick-fil-A have the same process? I thought about owning a Chick-fil-A franchise for $10K. It sounds like that's what your friend did. Okay, so let's hit the vending machines, man. So tell us about the vending machine business, because
I mean, they're really straightforward.
Yeah.
They're so simple. I get tired of talking about them because it's like you can buy a used one for $800 or brand new. They're $4,000 to $5,000. You find a high traffic location. You negotiate with the person that has the ownership of that location. You put one in. You fill it full of snacks or drinks or whatever, and you make money off of it. If it's a good location, it makes money. If it's a bad location, you don't make money and you put it somewhere else.
Okay.
Damn.
So what are we talking as far as like a vending? What's the average returns on it if you put it in it? Let's say a good area.
I mean, see, here's the thing. I'm like biased towards Ohio, and I buy these machines for $800 a piece. They make about $150 to $200 a month.
Okay.
Like, I make my money back in 6 months. It's a pretty good investment. I know guys that are in vending. I've done several collabs with a guy from Texas. His name's Jaime Ibanez. He's got a YouTube channel. Like, he's the big real vending guy. I just do TikTok videos and show I make $150. He's got, I think, 50 machines. And he's pulling in $250K a year. Just
like 50 machines?
Yeah. Oh, it's insane. He does only hotels. If memory serves right, he only puts them in hotels. He's the only guy that has vending machines in the hotel. So if you want to get drinks or snacks when the lady isn't there for the key, like to sell you stuff, or they don't have them, you have to buy them off of his $3 water bottles. And he's got locations they're pulling like 500 plus a week.
Wow,
it's incredible. And he's just got this good hustle, but he does YouTube videos on the site too. And I've seen his sales. I'm like, holy crap, this guy just absolutely slaughters me.
That's interesting because like you don't really need like $800. Like even if you're not like, it's probably a good way to kind of get your foot in the door because you don't need like some crazy credit. It's $800. You can probably save up, buy one, and then if you get a couple of them,
that's your paycheck. You just save some of it. And you go a vending machine.
Where should people, for those out there that might want to go ahead and get a fucking vending machine out here, where's some good places to put one?
Like any place, it's either high traffic, meaning a lot of people are walking by, or they are staying in that location forever. So like I've got a laundromat. Laundromats are one of the really good places. If you could put one like in a barber shop, there's some area where everybody goes to and they sit there forever. Apartment complexes. Hotels are really good. Anywhere I've heard mechanics, like auto mechanic places, they're really good. We're putting vending machines in all of our car washes too. And we sell like car products at their car washes, and they do really, really well.
Is it a pain in the ass to do it in hotels? Like, are they going to want like a cut or something like that?
A lot of them don't want anything.
Really?
And that's Jaime Ibanez's deal. He does not pay 1 penny in rent or anything to the people that own the location.
I could tell off rip. That's building relationships and networking with them.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, because how are they gonna just let you put your vending machine in there?
He must have some type of like connection with the owners or the guy's management because they know him.
I ran into a guy. He's out west somewhere. I can't remember what state. He's paid to put his vending machines in locations.
Damn.
He negotiated, and his client is the city. It's this town it's in. And I'm sure I couldn't even say it if it was. He said he went to the city. He's like, I want vending machines in all the public parks. And the city, of course, they said, screw you. Why would we let this capitalist guy with a business make money off our parks? He said, tell you what, we've got a homeless problem in town. Here's the deal that I'm going to give you. I'm going to build free vending machines in the really bad neighborhoods. And we're going to vend like deodorant, toothpaste, soap, and stuff for free to people. And I'll keep them restocked with $150 worth of material and stuff a month. And I'll refill them for free so that we can meet a need in the community for the homeless problem. But in trade, I want you to give me free spaces at the park. The city was so nuts about that idea. They built the electric infrastructure for him to put vending machines, and then his machines that gave free products to the homeless people in that community.
Yeah,
he was only doing it once a month, and the city came back to him and was like, "Can we pay you $500 for these machines so that you'll restock them more than once a month?" So now he's turning a profit off those free machines because the county's just paying him to go and refill them. And I was like,
and on top of that, he negotiated to put his real vending machines to make money in certain areas.
Yeah, in certain areas, ultra high traffic, like in the park. He is the only guy that sells food and drinks in the park.
Oh, wow.
His community.
I can see how that would.
So having good skills of negotiation and networking, and then adding the vending machines, you can actually capitalize and make a bunch of money.
So
there you go.
Let me ask you this. So what are, if someone, because I know someone here is probably like getting some bells in their head, like, oh, I don't need good credit. I can get into this. I could get a vending machine. What should they stock that vending machine with? And then what are some potential price points?
It just depends on what your community likes. We've got a lot of people in Southern Ohio that are addicted to Mountain Dew.
Okay.
You do
Mountain Dew.
Monster or whatever.
So I would say what, like obviously water,
Yeah.
a soft drink of some kind, right? Do your research in your area,
Coke,
maybe
Sprite.
maybe Coke, Sprite, whatever it may be, right? Or Mountain Dew.
I don't know.
And then maybe what are we talking? Like some crackers or
Gatorade.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
gummy
just,
candy or
it just depends. Like if you're in a
Doritos.
better area, you want water and Gatorade and fitness drinks and stuff.
Mhm.
Certain communities our Coke sales do amazing. There's other areas where Cokes don't do well. Pepsi does well. I know people that have machines and everybody loves grape drink and they just
Oh,
no, I know that sounds bad.
saw it over town.
That sounds bad.
Not grape juice, grape drink.
grape drink.
I mean the cheap stuff. They go and they
Shout out to
buy
Ritz.
Yeah.
Ritz, grape drink.
Grape Fago.
Grape Vago.
Grape
The
Fago.
fuck is that?
Do you want Fago down here?
No.
Fago.
No,
Oh my
don't
gosh.
know.
I can buy it for 10 cents a can and they sell it for like 50, 60 cents a can.
That's part by Hialeah.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
it's so freaking cheap.
Okay.
And oh my gosh.
So we're talking. So it looks like to me like three to four different soft drinks.
Yeah.
Water included. And then depending on the area that you're in,
Yeah.
this is gonna sound terrible, but the poorer the area, the worse the food. More candy, more bullshit. But the healthier you could put Cliff
Sure.
bars, protein bars, whatever it may be.
Mhm.
So, and then what should I mean? What are we talking like? At nothing over the price point of? I mean, we could say Southern Ohio, but like nothing over $4 or $5.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I've got a guy I mentioned on another podcast. He's in the process of building CBD vending machines.
Mm.
And
shit.
Yeah, he's selling $50 products in those,
Okay.
and he does really well off of them.
Okay.
So it's just like you got to figure out
What the market wants.
Yeah, businesses are finding about what people want and giving it to them in a more efficient manner.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you can save them money, it's even better. So you just got to find out what people want, and it's just there's days and weeks that evidently the gas stations closed at the wrong period, and I will sell $400 worth of drinks in one weekend, and in a crummy laundromat in a crummy area of town. And it's just there's a demand and there's a need for there. 4th of July, I cannot put enough drinks in my machines. They just get cleared out.
Wow.
And is it mandatory pretty much to like accept like Apple Pay and credit card at this point?
I
Because a lot of people don't carry cash.
on mine, but I'm getting really close to.
You're gonna okay.
It's just my stuff's so cheap.
Okay, that they'll have $1, $2 in their pocket somewhere. Would you but like in other areas, would you say like that's pretty much like? Do you think you would like double your revenue if you had just accepted Apple Pay? or
If I
whatever?
was in a slightly better area and my car washes in pretty good neighborhoods.
Okay,
So we're going to be putting Apple Pay and Google Pay and Samsung Pay, like Watch Pay and all that stuff. We're going to be implementing all of that
in better
very soon in
neighborhoods.
those locations. Yeah, in better neighborhoods.
It's amazing how like as you go up in socioeconomic status, less and less cash. But as you go like a little bit more hood or whatever, everyone's gonna have cash. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
I'm thinking I'll put fried chicken, grape soda,
Coconut water.
orange juice. Yeah, I'm messing with you, bro. All right, we got some chats here.
Okay,
and then
I'll read some of
yeah,
these
the
chats.
girls are here as well.
Okay, so no, that's interesting stuff, man. Like
yeah.
I had never thought about like using vending machines, but I could already see some people in the chat like, oh wow, like I don't really need capital to get into this. Last thought is $2. Do you offer any one-on-one consultations, Joy?
Yeah,
Okay.
we do. We just started opening that up, and I'm like booked for the next month. But
Bam.
if you DM me on Instagram, I'll send you to my team because we're getting into that.
And what's
Awesome.
Instagram? Investment Joy.
Everything's investment joy.
Okay. 561 Lifestyle, $10. The sauce dripping off this episode is something else. 100% sub to SP Guest channel. Best money Monday since Pushman Mitch. We got y'all, man. We told you guys. We don't just teach you guys how to womanize. We teach you guys how to monetize as well. And then what else we got here?
No, but
Oh, then we had a good question before, real quick. So go back to the chats real fast. There was someone that asked something about not just the
Chick-fil-A.
vending machines. It was Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, yeah.
Worth it? Bad? Good?
Oh my
bad?
gosh.
What are your
Bro,
thoughts on that?
It's
If
a
you can
gold
get a
mine.
Chick-fil-A.
Yo, okay, so
It's
funny,
probably expensive to get
fun
one
fact,
though.
right? I used to
No,
work at
it's not.
Chick-fil-A in Boca
Is that-
Raton. No, it's not.
It's 10K.
But here's the problem though. 10K, but you need to be a part of a church. They need to recommend you. And hold on.
Not anymore.
And not anymore.
Yeah, you can get around that.
How?
You have to be a ultra solid member of your community, and you have to have character references and community reference. It doesn't have to be a church because
Yeah.
there's people that aren't involved in churches in any way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
They can get the recommendation. The problem is when Chick-fil-A wants to open up a location, they might have 1,000 people that apply.
I'll tell you this though. This is some behind the scenes that most people.
Apply for what? To be an employee?
No,
to own
to
one.
get it.
Oh, okay.
So I actually met True Kathy's management team
Okay.
along with the owner of that location, and I was like, yo, how do I eventually own one? He's like, well, son, first off, I'm be honest with you, you probably won't get it. I'm like, why? He's like, I knew what he was saying without saying it, but he basically was saying like, you have to be someone that is well respected in the community, like you said. But secondly, their management looks heavily and favorably upon people that are in the church.
Yeah.
So you don't need it, but
you don't need it.
But
So I'll never own a Chick-fil-A.
But it's a big plus.
Yeah.
And if you're a Muslim, you definitely won't.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, nah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like,
But I will say though, like if you're right, if you're part of the community and people recommend you from certain businesses or people that they know, hey man, it's a plus.
Yeah, but the thing is, the intersectionality with Chick-fil-A is really difficult. You have to have $10,000 cash. Okay, you have $10,000 cash.
Mhm.
You have to have business experience, and you
Yeah.
have good business experience. So if you have good business experience, why don't you have another business already? You can only buy one store. You cannot own multiple Chick-fil-A's.
Yeah.
So you have one location, and that's your baby for the rest of your life. So those filters right there, beyond having church affiliation and stuff, those are huge filters, because most of the people that could meet the qualifications, they already own a couple other businesses.
And also it helps to have a degree as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Chick-fil-A out here.
By the way, the guy I was working for, he was clearing a day, bro, between 15 to 30K.
Yeah.
No cap.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
And that was weekdays. Weekends were like 50 to 70K.
So you only need 10K to get in, but you need all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
But bro, like, dude, Chick-fil-A's make money, bro. Like,
Oh my gosh.
dude, like,
They're the
bro, when I found out I could own one, I was like, bro, man.
So wow. Okay. So they're saying net profit like 10K a day almost, 10 to
And
15K.
most people that own Chick-fil-A's, they don't leave until they die, bro. Like, they're there forever. Because, why would you? It's a cash cow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just because the volume, I guess. Because they do be having crazy lines. The drive through
Bro.
Oh,
alone.
they're very efficient.
Yeah.
They're
Bro.
so efficient. They're amazing. They make, like, on average, their average Chick-fil-A makes like 5 times more than a KFC does.
Yeah.
They have like a third of the number of restaurants compared to KFC, because KFC is the only chicken competitor, and they make like $5 billion more a year than they do.
And
It's
also,
incredible.
if you're
While being closed on Sundays.
Yes. well, there's a way you could get around that. But I'll say this: they're healthier because they use peanut oil as a market. And then secondly, like, think about it. If I'm gonna be an upstanding citizen in my community, in terms of like health and image wise, I want to go Chick-fil-A over McDonald's or
Yeah.
Wendy's. Because
Yeah, I mean, I'll
it
tell you
makes
guys,
sense.
myself as a gym guy, like I'm gonna always pick Chick-fil-A over the other places because they have a grilled chicken option.
and then
KFC don't have that.
think of the areas where Chick-fil-A is good, affluent areas where
Yeah.
kids,
not in the hood,
kids
really.
and family.
Yeah.
They have fundraisers, they have all these events, so it just makes sense.
So that's the hardest probably restaurant to get
All right.
into right there.
And then we got one here as well.
Okay.
Last one.
What is grape soda? I know about grape drink. Okay, this guy.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh man. So where can
brother,
people find you,
where
bro?
can we find you, bro?
Just everything's under Investment Joy. You can go to youtube.com /C/Investment Joy. It's at Investment Joy on TikTok. It's Investment Joy on Instagram. I respond to practically every DM that I ever get on Instagram. So if you have a question, just send me a DM.
Okay.
And
And if
if
people
it's-
want to invest with you, what's the best way to get with you?
Instagram too.
Instagram as well.
Or you can get
okay.
on me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
We're building a sales team so that I made a post recently about, hey, does anybody want to do business with me? And the people that came out of the woodwork was insane, because you talk about call seg. There's so many people that want to invest in real estate and they don't know how to navigate call segmentation.
Yeah.
And they've got money to spend. And I've mentioned that to a couple people. And I mentioned that to one person at a conference. It's like, hey, what do you got for $4 million? I'm like, I have nothing for $4 million.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to navigate a call seg deal, maybe an opportunity zone fund, I can get you $4 million between it was September last year and the end of the year,
Yeah.
just to get rid of their tax money.
Yeah.
So
It's a hidden glitch as far as like saving money on
Yeah.
taxes, cost segregation.
we
Bro.
did on my trailer park, and the call segment. Call seg was amazing for that.
You-
My partner that I've got on it, it saved him
Man,
insane money.
taxes is a serious thing, man. Like, to legally avoid paying taxes is a blessing, bro.
And real estate is one of the best
Yeah,
ways
yeah.
to do it. I mean, you don't have to talk about numbers, but like, what are we talking? Like between all your real estate properties, even though you're not like the sole owner, have you been
Sure.
able to save a significant amount of money?
Yeah, so we I can't say I don't want. I
Yeah,
break
you don't have to
percentage
say
out, but
numbers,
we did $48,500 last month. We're on track to do $50,000 this month. That's
From the
just-
net income from all the properties.
Just the properties. That excludes my car wash, my laundromat, everything else in social media. So
There you
we're
go.
doing really, really well. I'm
Fantastic.
very, very happy. And the goal is, once we get the trailer park done, that'll be $67,500. So
It's at-
$67,500.
Okay, it'll
Yeah.
be and it'll go up to 67 from the
Yeah.
58 now.
Yeah.
Wow. Net.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's you just having property.
Yeah, it's just it keeps going up every year.
Yeah.
So
Bam.
And then you're able to depreciate against each new property you acquire,
Yes.
cost segregation. And we got a whole episode on that, guys. Cost segregation is literally like a glitch in the matrix as far as like saving money on taxes. It's ridiculous.
Diana Furpo.
$20. Chick-fil-A, like In and Out, they're smart, small, simple menu, good, fresh food. Okay, I've never been in. In and Out is like a California thing. I've never. Yeah, I don't really see him out here like that. But yeah, guys, check him out. All his socials are below. If you guys want to invest with him, check him out, get a consultation, whatever it may be. Different type, really, really diversified real estate portfolio. Really fantastic, really impressive. And yeah, I learned a lot myself, guys, the real estate investor. This is the beauty about talking about with people from different niches. Like me and Fresh are in residential, you know, multi-unit. Like you're in everything. So that's like
that's good, man.
Okay, nice.
So guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check him out, Investment Joy on all the platforms. We'll catch you guys back here with some lovely ladies.
Awesome.
Peace.